hello there. Been a while. Anyways, the reason I'm making this video is because, whoops, look, I got a new tripod. No, I didn't. I didn't get a tripod. This is my microphone stand at the highest setting, holding my cell phone. Yeah. All these years on YouTube and I still don't have a tripod. But you know, it works. I do is what I do. So basically, my birthday was a few days ago, thank you. I've been waiting for this age since I was so little, because now I am finally 18! So anyways, I asked a few of you guys on Discord to basically give me advice on how to be an adult since I am 18! First piece of advice is from Ace of Spades. He says, well, obviously you'll need to vote, and depending on where you live and the laws, you'll be legally allowed to drink or go to a bar, smoke cigarettes and weed, but as far as personal stuff goes, it doesn't feel much different. I mean, yeah, that's true. Second piece of advice that I got here is actually pretty darn good. If you drink small amounts of unopened drinks at parties. Unopened is a key word. I can only imagine that's because, you know, if it's opened, then that might be pretty bad. For your financial well-being, don't spend money on alcohol. Also, since we're on the topic of voting, if you can't pick a political party, turn in an empty ballot to send a message. Instead of just not participating, which would make your vote worthless, turn in an empty ballot and show the government that they're all bad. And always try to have multiple incomes or proprietary investments. The hell's a proprietary investment? Proprietary trading, also prop trading, occurs when a trader trades stocks, bonds, currencies, commodities. I don't understand this. For example, you work a 9-to-5 job, but you also own an apartment that you could sell if things got tight. Even better if you have invested in a few businesses. Okay, that's pretty good financial advice. Wolfrunner here says, I agree about multiple incomes. If one becomes either unavailable or less practical, then you will have a backup. It's also harder to become trapped somewhere you are unhappy. Moving on. Great piece of advice here from Venomous Poisonous. He says, so people see you differently when you become an adult, even though it's just a number away from 17. That's true, I've already started feeling that and it's only been 4 days. You will have different expectations on you and sometimes criticism, so the best thing you can do is own your decisions and make sure if you need advice, you go to others rather than them coming to you and telling you how you have to be. By no means does that mean you should ignore suggestions, just make sure the people making them aren't trying to push you the way they think you should go rather than what is best for you. Actually, speaking of which, I think I might actually just keep on from here. See, one thing that I've experienced a lot in my life is people telling me what I should be, what I should do, based on my talents, my skills, my, you know, age, things like this, just like based on what people know about me, people have like suggested that I do this or go that direction or something like that. Like Wolfrunner said, I'm not saying you shouldn't listen to suggestions, because you absolutely should, because suggestions and criticisms are just how we progress. But I think if you listen too much to when people say you should be something and you should do this, it'll kind of make you feel, at least in my experience, it made me feel kind of guilty that I didn't want to go maybe in that direction. Say, for example, I was a very strongly built person and just had, you know, great muscles. And say that, like, my entire family loved building and construction work. So they said, well, based on this and based on the fact that you're very strong and good at lifting things and you always have been and you're good with architecture and building and stuff, we want you to be a construction worker. Say that maybe I wanted to be something else, or that, you know, I wasn't sure that, like, that was the right path for me. Now, if I were to listen to everybody that said I should go in the path of construction working and building and stuff, if you listen to it too much and take it way too much to heart, then trust me, you will feel absolutely horrible. Because as soon as you start thinking, oh, I should do that, but I don't want to, you'll think that you're doing something wrong. Because if everybody says you should do this, and you don't want to, then, oh, something must be wrong with you. But no, that is not the truth. just because you're good at something or built for something or talented at something does not mean you have to do that. You know, like, don't feel obligated to go the path that people want you to go. Some people will be a little bit upset and they'll just be like, oh, what a shame that person never went into construction even though they're super bacon strong. Ah, shame on you. And you'll just be like, oh no, I should have done that. But the thing is, if you do that, if you go the path that everybody wants you to go, you're much more likely to end up unhappy in life. And I mean, I'm just an 18-year-old. Do not take my advice as like the best advice in the world and I'm super wise and smart or anything. Don't do that. This is just my 2 cents. This is just how I feel, at least. So, I don't know, it's got a little bit more personal than I thought it would be. Anyways, I'm just gonna turn the music back up and see you guys later. Just